long-term monitoring, and adaptive management. Restoring degraded ecosystems is a critical step in conserving biodiversity and maintaining ecosystem services. However, the success of restoration efforts can only be fully understood and maximized through long-term monitoring and adaptive management. Long-term monitoring involves the systematic collection of data over an extended period, while adaptive management refers to the use of monitoring data to make proactive adjustments to management strategies. In this tutorial, we will explore the importance of long-term monitoring and adaptive management in the context of restoring degraded areas. Before embarking on a restoration project, it is crucial to establish clear objectives. These objectives should define what success looks like and guide the monitoring and management strategies to be employed. Objectives could include the recovery of specific species, the improvement of ecosystem functions, or the provision of particular services. By establishing clear objectives from the outset, we can determine the appropriate metrics to measure success during long-term monitoring. Designing an effective long-term monitoring program involves several considerations. Firstly, it is essential to identify the specific indicators that will be used to measure progress towards the defined objectives. Indicators can include measures of biodiversity, ecosystem structure, ecological processes, or socioeconomic factors. Secondly, the frequency and duration of monitoring need to be determined. Monitoring should take place over a sufficiently long time frame to capture temporal and seasonal variation, allowing for robust analysis and trend identification. Once a monitoring program is established, data collection can begin. Data collection methods can use a variety of techniques such as field surveys, remote sensing, and citizen science initiatives. It is important to standardize data collection protocols to ensure consistency and comparability over time. Analysis of monitoring data can be done using statistical methods, modeling techniques, or other appropriate analytical tools. Monitoring data should be regularly reviewed to assess progress towards the defined objectives and identify any patterns or trends. Long-term monitoring allows us to identify whether restoration goals are being met or if adjustments to management strategies are necessary. By comparing monitoring data to the defined objectives, we can determine whether the restoration efforts are successful, falling short, or exceeding expectations. If specific indicators are not showing the desired progress, further investigation can help identify the reasons behind the lack of progress. Adaptive management requires us to identify the key drivers influencing the restoration outcomes and make informed decisions on adjusting management practices accordingly. Adaptive management involves using the insights gained from long-term monitoring to revise management strategies and actions. This may include modifying the timing or intensity of management practices, changing seed sources, altering planting techniques, or exploring new approaches entirely. The success of adaptive management relies on effective communication and collaboration among stakeholders, including restoration practitioners, land managers, scientists, and local communities. Regular monitoring, data sharing, and engagement with relevant stakeholders can facilitate the successful implementation of adaptive management. Implementing long-term monitoring and adaptive management can present several challenges. These may include resource limitations, data management issues, stakeholder engagement, and the need for interdisciplinary collaboration. Acquiring long-term funding for monitoring and research is essential to ensure the continuity of data collection and analysis. Overcoming these challenges requires effective planning, robust partnerships across different disciplines, and ongoing evaluation and adaptive changes to monitoring and management strategies. To further understand the concepts of long-term monitoring and adaptive management, it is helpful to review case studies of successful restoration projects. These case studies can provide real-world examples of how monitoring data influenced management decisions, leading to positive outcomes. Examples might include projects focusing on the restoration of wetlands, forests, or grasslands. By studying these projects, we can gain valuable insights and learn from their implementation and outcomes. In conclusion, long-term monitoring and adaptive management are essential components of effectively restoring degraded areas. Based on clear objectives and appropriate monitoring programs and data collection, one can maximize the success of restoration efforts. Although challenges may arise, well-designed and consistently implemented long-term monitoring and adaptive management can significantly improve our understanding and ability to restore and manage ecosystems successfully.